Hey there everyone, and welcome to episode 2 in the Copycat Crap series, taking a quick look at unusual clones of landmark gaming titles. This week we're taking a look at Angry Birds, the cartoony physics destruction puzzle game first released in 2009 for iPhones and Maemo, whatever the flying fudge that is, and since then it's been put out on more platforms than an aging stripper. Just look at all of those. I've not even heard of a few of them. The game premise is simple. You probably know the deal. You use a catapult to launch your birds at destructible towers to eliminate your targets, who, for the birds, are rascally piggies, across a series of levels and themed worlds, aiming for those shiny 3 stars each time. The story goes that piggies stole your eggs, typical bloomin' piggies, and are now holding your eggs for ransom, or something. You know what, that was never quite explained. The eggs certainly aren't in the towers, because they'd get smashed to bits, and the pigs obviously have some sort of underground egg storage system, but that's sadly too small to house a pig and save them from the inevitable porcine genocide. Maybe that level of complexity in the story is explained in one of the billion TV shows, animations and spin-off games, or maybe even in the movie, but sadly I only made it through 2 minutes of that before I lost consciousness in my brain's desperate attempt at self-preservation. Anywho, let's jump right in and see a few alternate versions of that whole catapult smash repeat idea. First up on this week's Craptacular is Angry Pussycats. Although the graphics and title menu show Angry Purrs, which is a far punnier title, in fact it's pretty fucking hilarious, and it starts the bowl rolling nicely with one of the most pointless menus I've ever seen. The front page has a settings button, you would assume from the cog icon, which the unsuspecting player may think would let you change audio settings. Wrong, douchebag, it does bugger all. Then there's this wonderfully obscure up icon with the same 2 options, which also do sod all. Good work there. Then the world selector, I guess that's what this is meant to be, but they're all the same, and it seems desperate not to let me select a world. Wonderful. Really top quality stuff there. Once you are in a level though, the game really starts to annoy the crap out of me. The camera jumps all over the place. No wonder my pussies are angry. They can't see what's going on. Then they decide to hide themselves. Yes, the old invisibility act there, which can be entertaining as part of a magic act, but it doesn't do so well when you want to see what you're doing. In terms of the game itself, it's pretty much a direct copy of the Birds, including the level design and the animations for things like the scores and menu. Only it's raining cats on dogs, so it's totally different. The dogs themselves, I think, are either secretly wearing armour or they're hard as nails, as they can often fall off high towers, apparently without coming to harm. Levels themselves have a wonderful habit of freezing up without warning, so you're left frantically tapping without any response. Love it! A handy feature that the developers added in was a lack of saving, or at least a lack of saving past level 3. That's the one with a dodgy cropped photo of some geezer's mug for no conceivable reason other than the lols. As wonderful as that level was, playing it every time I turned the game on was no fun. The first time I loaded it up to find myself back at level 3, I thought it was a bit annoying. I got through around 5 more levels before the game crashed, and on loading I found myself looking at that mug again. So I uninstalled the game. 5 craps out of 5. Next up we have Angry Cats. No, that's not the one we just saw, it's cats rather than pussycats. This one welcomes you to the game in the friendliest possible way, with an ad before you can even be permitted to see the main menu. Lovely. Once you're past that, you only have to contend with an ad banner across the top of the screen, and an ad after pretty much every other level. Hey, you gotta monetize this crap somehow. Winks in YouTube's direction for an appropriately timed ad break. The game is flinging slightly more realistic cats, and this time complete with excellent Stretch Armstrong effects, into towers of armadillo mouse gerbil things that go woof. Okay, maybe they're dogs. I'm not 100% on that one. The game has a slightly weightier feel to it, which works most of the time, and there are power-ups available, paid or ad-supported for extra consumerism, so you can get through those extremely tough levels. The destruction works well enough, especially when you get to bring out the exploding kitties. Basically, more games should feature exploding cats. The variety in levels and the types of cat work well enough, although they're pretty much the same idea as the original. There are 4 game worlds, and I did actually manage to play through 3 of them quite happily, so obviously the game works well enough, and apart from the usual issues with controls and the camera, plus the slightly over-enthusiastic adverts, then hey, this clone does its job. Doesn't do it especially well, it's a little bit bland, but it does the job nonetheless. So, 2 craps out of 5. Next up we have Angry Jews. Oh yes, I knew this team would not disappoint. You know when you're intensely playing a video game and you accidentally switch the channel over to a trippy music video? Well, now you can recreate that experience without ever touching the remote control. This is Angry Jews, where Angry Birds, memes, lulz and dubstep collide to form a gargantuan mess. Text flashes around alongside videos, covering the screen, meaning that you can't see what the bloody hell's going on. Every level is a wonderful collection of badly cropped images slapped about the place and laced with hidden horrors that may leap out at any time. The joys that get splurged on top of the gameplay range from a first-person perspective of someone smoking a suspiciously conical cigarette, a very angry man in a hat, someone swearing about pussies, although I'm pretty sure we've already done with that game, and someone in a body-hugging lycra number that still haunts my dreams every night. The levels are split across 3 worlds, emphasis on the inverted commas there. The first is reminiscent of the original Birds, only with random shite vomited across the screen. The second is the same, except they've copy-pasted some Star Wars art as a background, so extra copycat points there. And the third does away with the epic spaceship scene, and instead offers a sofa. Not even a very nice sofa. Plus the floor is made up of hypnotic patterns of that pink gimp. So, stuff I liked, well, the rainbow flight path is pretty, and once again with this developer, I think a lot of effort has gone into putting together entire levels of cropped photos of that guy in a pink bodysuit, made to look like little effort's gone in. Impressive. Stuff I didn't like, pretty much everything else. The visuals, the grating overlapping audio, the levels that look like a bag of ass. Yeah, pretty much the whole lot. They took the standard play levels and smash stuff formula and added eye-gouging, ear-splitting shite. A total crap fest if ever I played one. Highly worthy of 5 craps out of 5. Next up we have Angry Pumpkins. This time it's pumpkinsonal. Personal lumpkin. Pumpkin. Okay, no, I can't make that work. Basically, the premise appears to be taking control of the catapult on behalf of some pumpkins who are rampaging against all manner of witches' familiars. Well, owls and cats at least. Or maybe some sort of hybrid of the two? I never quite worked that out. The reasons behind this rampage are unclear, but I'm imagining the owls and cats sold out on the very idea of Halloween, got themselves supporting roles in the Harry Potter movies, and so now the pumpkins are here to sort this shit out. The game is that usual flingy smashy rubbish, only with extra pumpkins and spookiness. actually, the levels are spookily familiar. Not just similar to another game, but spookily similar. Yes, that's actually because on closer inspection, this game is a copy job of Angry Cats by the same studio. You remember the one with the Stretch Armstrong cats? Well, apparently the developers didn't feel satisfied simply copying the idea and gameplay from Angry Birds. They decided to go full meta on our asses by copying their own levels and pasting them into a pumpkin-themed game. That's pretty meta. And pretty frickin' lazy. So this one gets bonus Copycat Crap points. 6 craps out of 5. Plus, because I'm so annoyed and I can't exactly tell which one copied the other, I'm adding an additional crap point to Angry Cats as well. Revised crap score, 3 craps out of 5. Finally for this week we look at Angry Hero Brine 3D. Another meta copy, and this time borrowing from, although maybe not giving back to, both Angry Birds and Minecraft fanfiction. Slight tweaks to the classic formula mean that you get to experience a totally unnecessary day-night cycle, a tilting mechanic when you aim, which can lead to you falling straight through the floor, and of course, Minecraft-style assets based around a character that was never in Minecraft. Apart from those, the 3D effect and the destruction smashy fun works reasonably well, and the action does seem quicker paced, with less waiting around for your character to slowly roll to a halt before you can move on. Confusingly, the enemies have a habit of walking, or actually rolling, off the screen and through the floor. So you can be left with just one enemy to go before completing the level, desperately aiming for a half protruding pair of legs stuck in a block on the other side of the screen. On the plus side, or perhaps the negative side, depending on whether you actually want to play the game or not, the sudden rolling can lead to enemies knocking themselves out of towers fairly frequently. So this one gets a bit of credit for trying something a little different and making the odd change that actually makes the game experience slightly more fun, before losing a lot of that acclaim through glitchy enemies and catapult tilting induced nausea. Overall score, 2 craps out of 5. So that's all I have time for in this week's episode of Crappiness. Tune in next week for a whole heap more crap. If you like this video, then please do give it a little like, and if you want to see more, then please do subscribe. I've been Eclectic Matt. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye!